Welcome back to the channel, soap fans. Today is a beautiful day for some high-stakes drama, and we have an absolute powder keg of exclusive spoilers ready to detonate. Grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get right into the explosive chaos tearing Los Angeles apart. Fate is a cruel master, and in Los Angeles, destiny is currently colliding with catastrophic consequences that will leave the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer dynasties in absolute ruins. This is not a drill. The battle lines are no longer just drawn. They are soaked in betrayal, blood, and the ashes of a legendary marriage. Two explosive shockers are about to detonate on our screens. A patriarch pushed past his absolute breaking point. A monster retreating to the shadows to orchestrate a deadly, psychological game. Brace yourselves. The fallout is going to be devastating. Let us cut straight to the Forrester mansion. The grand estate is usually a sanctuary of love, a testament to decades of high fashion and romance. Today, it is a sterile, freezing war room. Eric Forrester is standing by the fireplace. He is not the forgiving, gentle patriarch of the past. He is a wounded lion. The right side of his face is a grotesque canvas of violence. A deep, ugly, purple and black bruise pulses around his eye. This is the permanent, humiliating reminder of Will Spencer's fist. A Spencer dared to strike the king of Los Angeles fashion at the bikini bar. But the physical pain radiating from Eric's jaw is absolutely nothing compared to the agony of betrayal radiating from his heart. Standing across from him is his wife, Donna Logan Forrester. She is trembling. She is weeping. She is entirely cornered. Eric does not reach out to comfort her. He does not offer a tissue. He does not offer a shoulder to cry on. He offers something far more permanent. He slams a thick manila folder onto the mahogany desk. The sound echoes through the silent mansion like a gunshot. Divorce papers. The ultimatum is delivered with absolute, chilling precision. Sign them right now, or cut every single tie with the Spencer family. There is no middle ground. There is no negotiation. Eric's patience has completely evaporated. Donna is sobbing uncontrollably. The tears stream down her face as she pleads for her husband to understand. She tries to explain the impossible position she was put in. Katie is her sister. Hope is her niece. Blood is blood. How could she betray her own family? How could she expose Hope's secret defection to Logan Designs? Eric's eyes are devoid of warmth. He looks at Donna not as a wife, but as a traitor who slept in his bed while his enemies plotted his downfall. He reminds her of the humiliation. The public spectacle. The fashion war that Katie and Bill Spencer launched against his legacy. He reminds her that she stood by in silence while Hope Logan abandoned Forrester Creations to become the face of the rival house. Donna begs. She drops her pride entirely. She promises that she loves him, that her loyalty to him is real, that she never meant to hurt him. She reminds him of their history. She reminds him of how she stood by him during his health crisis. She reminds him of the love that brought them back together. But Eric delivers the final, lethal blow to their marriage. Trust is dead. Those three words hang in the freezing air. They are a death sentence for their legendary romance. Eric cannot look at her without seeing Katie's smug face. He cannot look at her without remembering the sting of Will Spencer's fist. The iconic Forrester marriage is teetering on the absolute brink of permanent collapse. Donna is left in crushing isolation. Brooke has already disowned Katie. The Logan sisters are fracturing. And now, Donna must make the most agonizing choice of her life. Does she sign the papers and lose the love of her life? Or does she sever her bloodline forever to save her marriage? The tragedy of Donna's silence has caught up with her. She is paying the ultimate price for a war she never wanted to fight. While a marriage burns to the ground in the hills, a far more sinister nightmare is taking shape on the coastline. Cut to the Cliff House. The ocean waves are crashing violently against the rocks below. It is a perfect, violent metaphor for the madness churning in the dark. John Finn Finnegan made his choice. He looked his biological mother in the eye and slammed the door. He rejected Sheila. He chose his wife, Steffi Forrester Finnegan. He chose his family's safety. He established an unbreakable boundary. But anyone who has watched Sheila operate knows that the word no is simply a challenge. Sheila is not walking away. She is not surrendering. She is evolving. Rejected and pushed into a corner, Sheila has retreated into the shadows. She is operating completely off the grid. She is stalking the Cliff House. She is watching their every move from the darkness. She is a predator waiting for the perfect strike. Through the glass, she watches Finn. She watches Steffi. She watches her grandson, Hayes. Her twisted, psychotic mind is racing. She realizes a terrifying truth. She cannot force her way into Finn's life with apologies. She cannot buy her way in with signed divorce papers from Deacon. She needs Finn to need her. She needs to be indispensable. A deeply twisted, incredibly dangerous plan is forming in the dark recesses of her brain. If Finn will only accept a hero, then Sheila must become one. And to be a hero, there must be a tragedy. Sheila is going to stage a catastrophic accident. A manufactured crisis designed to put Finn, Steffi, or the children in sudden, mortal danger. A crisis that only she can solve. A disaster where she can swoop in, save the day, and secure her place in her son's heart forever. The terrifying reality of this plan cannot be overstated. Sheila is willing to risk the lives of the people she claims to love just to play the savior. Will she tamper with Steffi's car brakes? Will she orchestrate a medical emergency for Hayes? Will she start a fire? The mechanics of her sinister plot are hidden, but the intent is crystal clear. She is going to create a nightmare. Inside the Cliff House, Steffi and Finn are completely unaware of the doom lurking just outside their window. They believe they have won. They believe Sheila is finally gone. They are living in a false, fragile sense of security. They do not realize that the monster is not gone. The monster is simply changing her tactics. Sheila's eyes burn with a psychotic obsession as she watches the happy family. She is calculating the angles. She is waiting for the exact right moment to strike. This is the ultimate collision of fate. A family torn apart by corporate greed and physical violence, and a family about to be ambushed by a psychopath desperate for love. Eric is drawing a line in the sand that will leave Donna completely isolated. He is demanding absolute loyalty in a world where loyalty is bought and sold. Donna's tears will not save her. The divorce papers are real. The threat is imminent. The Forrester patriarch is cleaning house. And Sheila is preparing to unleash hell on the Cliff House. She is going to play God with the lives of her own blood. The stakes have never been higher. The danger has never been more real. Los Angeles is a powder keg, and the match has just been struck. Every single character is on a collision course with destiny. The fallout from these two explosive events will permanently alter the landscape of the bold and the beautiful. No one is safe. No marriage is secure. No family is protected from the incoming devastation. Will Donna sign the papers, and who will survive Sheila's deadly staged accident? Next. One torn woman. A patriarch who refuses to step aside. This is not just a disagreement. This is the exact moment the Spencer and Forrester feud detonates, leaving a legendary figure bleeding on the floor and a young man facing the total destruction of his entire life. Will Spencer is spiraling out of control. After being unceremoniously thrown out of the Forrester mansion, the young Spencer heir is a man on the edge. He makes his way to the bikini bar, seeking refuge at the bottom of a glass. The music thumps against the walls, but Will cannot hear it. He is drowning in his own rage and heartbreak. The drinks keep coming. The bartender watches with growing concern as Will downs shot after shot, trying to numb the sting of Electra Forrester slipping through his fingers. The bikini bar is packed, and Will is not going unnoticed. Several women spot the handsome, wealthy, and newly single Spencer sitting alone. They approach him, batting their eyelashes and offering their company. They see an opportunity. But Will is completely blind to their advances. He fends them off with sharp, dismissive words. He does not want a distraction. He does not want a rebound. He only wants the woman who was just forced to kick him out of her home. Desperation takes over. Will pulls out his phone. His fingers stumble over the screen as he dials Electra's number. It rings. And rings. It goes to voicemail. Will grips the phone, his knuckles turning white. He leaves a message. His voice is raw, laced with the kind of vulnerability that only comes from a broken heart. He begs her to listen. He tells her he loves her. The voicemail is a ticking time bomb of emotion, echoing into the digital void. Will tosses the phone onto the sticky bar counter and orders another drink. He is a powder keg waiting for a match. Across town, Electra Forrester is living a nightmare. She is trapped in a gilded cage of family loyalty and corporate expectations. She stares at her phone. She sees the missed call. She listens to the voicemail. Will's desperate voice cracks through the speaker, tearing her heart in two. Electra is completely torn. On one side is the man she loves with every fiber of her being. On the other side is the Forrester dynasty, demanding her absolute obedience. Electra cannot take the suffocating pressure of the Forrester mansion for one more second. She grabs her coat. She has to see him. She has to know if they can survive this war. She rushes out the door, her pulse pounding in her ears. She navigates the busy Los Angeles streets, her mind racing with a million different scenarios. She arrives at the bikini bar. The neon lights flash across her face. She takes a deep breath and pushes the heavy wooden doors open. The moment Electra steps inside, the atmosphere shifts. She scans the crowded room. Her eyes lock onto Will. He is sitting at the bar, looking utterly defeated. For a split second, the rest of the world fades away. There is no Forrester Creations. There is no Logan Designs. There is only Will and Electra. She takes a step toward him. He looks up. The connection between them is electric, undeniable, and completely magnetic. Will stands up, his heart leaping into his throat. They are inches away from a passionate, reckless reunion. But the universe has other plans. The heavy wooden doors of the bikini bar swing open again. The temperature in the room plummets. Eric Forrester marches inside, his posture rigid with authority. And right behind him is the golden boy himself, R.J. Forrester. The Forrester patriarch and his anointed grandson have tracked Electra down. The romantic bubble shatters into a million jagged pieces. The ultimate confrontation has arrived. Eric Forrester does not hesitate. He stalks across the barroom floor, his eyes locked on Will Spencer. He inserts himself directly between the two young lovers. Eric is furious. He is tired of the Spencers infiltrating his family. He issues a direct, uncompromising order. He looks Will dead in the eye and commands him to stay away from Electra. The arrogance is staggering. Eric is treating Electra like a piece of property, and Will like a common criminal. The public humiliation is designed to break Will's spirit. Will Spencer does not break. He ignites. The alcohol in his system fuels the blazing Spencer pride roaring in his chest. Will steps right up to the Forrester patriarch. He does not back down. He looks Eric up and down with absolute disgust. And then, he drops the ultimate insult. Will calls Eric an old man. The words echo over the thumping music of the bar. The crowd gasps. The disrespect is visceral. Will tells Eric to back off. He declares that he will do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. The tension skyrockets into the stratosphere. Will points a shaking finger at Eric. He fiercely defends Elektra's independence. He tells Eric that he has absolutely no right to dictate Elektra's life. She is a grown woman. She makes her own choices. Will's voice booms through the bar. He is standing his ground against one of the most powerful men in Los Angeles. But Will is not just fighting Eric. He is fighting the entire Forrester legacy. And R.J. Forrester is not going to stand by and watch his grandfather be insulted. R.J. Forrester lunges forward. The golden boy drops his innocent facade. R.J. is spoiling for a fight. He has been waiting for this moment. He grabs Will by the shirt collar, twisting the fabric in his fists. R.J. is the aggressor. R.J. is always the aggressor. He shoves Will backward, his eyes burning with hatred. R.J. demands respect for his grandfather. He demands that Will back down. But R.J. is not just protecting Eric. R.J. wants Elektra. This is a battle for dominance, and R.J. is determined to win at any cost. Will's eyes flash with pure fury. He slaps R.J.'s hands away. The shoving match escalates in the blink of an eye. Two young men, fueled by jealousy, corporate warfare, and bitter family rivalries, are tearing each other apart in the middle of a crowded bar. Glasses crash to the floor. Stools are knocked over. The patrons scramble out of the way. Elektra screams for them to stop. Her voice is drowned out by the chaos. The brawl is violent, messy, and completely out of control. Eric Forrester realizes the situation is spiraling into disaster. He cannot let his precious R.J. get hurt. Eric steps directly into the line of fire. He tries to play referee. He reaches out to pull the two young men apart. It is the biggest mistake of his life. The chaotic shoving reaches a boiling point. Arms are swinging wildly. Fists are flying through the air. The momentum is unstoppable. A fist flies. The sickening crunch of bone hitting bone echoes through the bar. The impact is devastating. The punch was meant for R.J. Forrester. But it misses its target. The heavy, brutal blow lands squarely on the face of Eric Forrester. The patriarch's head snaps back. The force of the punch lifts him off his feet. Eric Forrester, the legend of the fashion world, crumples to the dirty floor of the bikini bar. The entire room goes dead silent. The music seems to stop. The flashing neon lights cast a horrific glow over the scene. Eric Forrester is lying on the ground, unconscious. A dark, ugly bruise is already forming around his eye. Elektra drops to her knees, screaming in absolute horror. She reaches out for her grandfather, her hands shaking uncontrollably. R.J. stands frozen, staring at the fallen patriarch. And Will Spencer stands above them all, staring at his own clenched fist in total shock. The blame game begins instantly. R.J. snaps out of his daze and points a shaking finger at Will. R.J. screams that Will is a monster. R.J. plays the victim, completely ignoring the fact that he was the one who grabbed Will's collar. R.J. instigated the fight. R.J. threw the first shove. But none of that matters now. The optics are catastrophic. A Spencer just brutally assaulted the elderly patriarch of the Forrester family in a public bar. The narrative is already spinning out of control. Will tries to step forward. He tries to explain. It was an accident. He was aiming for R.J. He was defending himself. But his words fall on deaf ears. Elektra looks up at him, her eyes filled with tears and terror. The man she loves just knocked her grandfather unconscious. The betrayal is absolute. Will realizes in that exact moment that he has lost her. He has lost everything. The sirens begin to wail in the distance. The police have been called. The flashing red and blue lights pierce through the windows of the bikini bar. The authorities storm into the building. The scene is chaotic. R.J. is shouting accusations. Elektra is sobbing over Eric. The police officers zero in on Will. They grab his arms. They twist them behind his back. The cold steel of the handcuffs clicks around his wrists. Will Spencer is being arrested for assault and battery. He is dragged out of the bikini bar in front of dozens of witnesses with cell phone cameras recording every single second of the humiliation. The Spencer heir is going to jail. The shockwave of this violent brawl hits the corporate world like a nuclear bomb. The news spreads across social media faster than wildfire. Videos of Will being hauled away in handcuffs flood the internet. The headlines are ruthless. Spencer heir assaults fashion legend. Bloodbath at the bikini bar. The public relations disaster is unimaginable. And it lands squarely on the doorstep of Logan Designs. Bill Spencer is sitting in his sprawling office, gleefully reviewing the latest sales projections for Logan Designs. He is riding high on the momentum of the corporate war. His phone rings. The smile instantly drops from his face. He listens to the frantic voice on the other end of the line. His son has been arrested. His son just punched Eric Forrester in the face. Bill slams his fist onto his mahogany desk, shattering a glass tumbler. The Spencer war machine comes to a screeching, violent halt. Katie Logan Spencer is in the design room, preparing for the most important launch of her entire career. She is ready to crush Forrester Creations. The news breaks on the television screens above her head. Katie drops her sketches. Her hands fly to her mouth. Her son is in handcuffs. The face of her new company is now associated with a brutal, unprovoked assault on an elderly man. The investors are going to panic. The buyers are going to pull out. Katie's dream is turning into a waking nightmare. How will Logan Designs survive this catastrophic scandal? The public was on Katie's side after Eric's unhinged livestream rant. They painted Eric as the villain. But now, the tables have violently turned. Will Spencer has just handed the Forrester family the ultimate weapon. A physical assault changes everything. The sympathy will instantly shift back to Eric. The Forrester PR team is going to weaponize this punch to completely obliterate Logan Designs before they even get their new collection on the runway. Ridge Forrester arrives at the hospital. He sprints through the emergency room doors. He sees his father lying in a hospital bed, a massive black eye swelling shut. Ridge's blood boils. The dressmaker's fury is unmatched. He turns to Steffi, who is standing in the corner, her eyes blazing with vindictive fire. This is no longer just about fashion. This is about blood. Ridge vows to destroy Will Spencer. He vows to lock him in a cage for the rest of his life. And Steffi begins to plot the ultimate corporate execution of Logan Designs. Will Spencer sits in a cold, concrete holding cell. The adrenaline has faded, leaving only a hollow, crushing despair. He stares at the floor. He replays the moment over and over in his head. The collar grab. The swing. The sickening impact. He knows RJ started it. He knows RJ wanted this to happen. But RJ is sleeping in a silk bed tonight, and Will is behind bars. The injustice is maddening. Will realizes that the Forrester family will never stop until he is completely destroyed. Electra Forrester paces the waiting room of the hospital. Her mind is a fractured mess. She loves Will. She knows RJ was the aggressor. She knows RJ pushed Will to the brink. But she cannot unsee the image of her grandfather falling to the floor. The Forrester loyalty is pulling her in one direction, but her heart is screaming in another. She is the only witness who can tell the police the absolute truth. She is the only one who can save Will from a lengthy prison sentence. But if she defends Will, she will be declaring war on her own family. The stakes have never been higher. The battle lines are no longer drawn in boardrooms and design studios. They are drawn in police precincts and hospital rooms. Bill Spencer summons his ruthless legal team. He will burn the city to the ground before he lets the Forresters lock his son away. Bill prepares to launch a counter-offensive that will expose every dark, dirty secret the Forrester family has ever buried. He will tear RJ's golden boy image to shreds. The Spencer patriarch is going to war, and he takes no prisoners. Steffy Forrester Finnegan sees the ultimate opportunity. With Logan Designs drowning in a massive PR crisis, Steffy moves in for the kill. She convenes an emergency meeting at Forrester Creations. She demands that they accelerate their plans to steal the hope for the future designs and rebrand them under her own name. She wants to launch their collection on the exact same day as Katie's launch. Steffy wants to bankrupt Logan Designs while the Spencer family is distracted by the criminal trial. The corporate sabotage is ruthless, calculated, and devastatingly brilliant. The fashion world holds its breath. The meme war that once mocked Eric Forrester has been replaced by shocking footage of the Bikini Bar brawl. The public is hungry for blood. The press is swarming the Spencer estate and the Forrester mansion. Every single move is being scrutinized. Hope Logan, Deke Sharp, and Wyatt Spencer are forced to go into damage control mode. The entire Logan team is scrambling to distance their brand from the violent assault, but the Spencer name is permanently attached to the company. As the sun rises over Los Angeles, the reality of the situation sets in. Eric Forrester wakes up in a hospital bed, his face bruised and battered. While Spencer faces a judge for his arraignment, the threat of a felony conviction hanging over his head. Electra Forrester stands at the crossroads of her entire life, holding the key to Will's freedom. And RJ Forrester smiles in the shadows, knowing that his calculated aggression has finally eliminated his rival once and for all. The Spencer and Forrester feud has officially crossed the point of no return. The gloves are off. The fashion war is now a fight for survival, freedom, and ultimate vengeance. Every single character is pushed to their absolute breaking point. The collateral damage will be catastrophic. Who will emerge victorious from the rubble of this explosive conflict, and who will be left with nothing but shattered dreams and prison bars? The drama is reaching a boiling point, and no one is safe from the impending blast. Will Spencer survive this catastrophic arrest, or has the Forrester family finally destroyed him forever? Drop your wildest theories below and subscribe for more explosive updates.